So when The Acolyte was announced back at the Disney Investor event, a lot of people were very excited for the show, me included. But when I went back and looked at what the show really is, I found some deep dark secrets and I'm going to share those with you in this video. Let's get into it. So as you can see on the screen right here, back on April 22nd of 2020, the first leak of The Acolyte came out. And the headline actually says, female-focused Star Wars series from Russian doll's Leslye Headland and works at Disney+. Now this is a very important headline to remember later in the video. When we first saw this headline and heard about this leak, we had no idea what it was going to be about. We didn't know what The Acolyte was, and they never even mentioned the words The Acolyte in this headline, because we had no idea what the story was going to be for the show, and we had no idea what the title for the show was going to be. And then on May 4th, the Star Wars official Twitter account confirms that Leslye Headland will in fact be leading a female-centric Star Wars show. But once again, we still don't know the title is The Acolyte, and we have no idea what the story is going to be about. We just know it's going to be Leslye Headland, and we know that it's going to be female-centric. Now on the screen here, I have an article that's kind of recent. It's from December 10th, but it is talking about an interview that Leslye Headland did, and the interview was right after the official announcement that she was going to have a Star Wars show. So we're going to be reading these two paragraphs that I have highlighted on the screen now. The first paragraph says, previously when discussing the project, Headland said that the Star Wars series is her dream project. However, she was mum on the details. In the most recent interview where she discussed the series, she said, I would say it's in a pocket of the universe and a pocket of the timeline that we don't know much about. We obviously know now that she's referring to the High Republic timeline because we didn't know much about the High Republic back on May 4th. And then in the second paragraph, she says something that's extremely interesting to me and what this video is really all about. She said, just because my show is technically, yes, female-centric, meaning it centers around a female protagonist, I don't think that necessarily excludes men from that space. She goes on to say that she relates to male characters all the time, characters like Mando and Luke, which makes sense. I relate to female characters sometimes as well, when they're done properly. But notice up until the December 10th Disney Investor event, Lucasfilm or Disney said absolutely nothing about the story around The Acolyte. They didn't even announce a title for it. The only thing that they would say is that it's female-centric. And now knowing all of this is about The Acolyte, I will play for you the clip of the Disney Investor event announcement for The Acolyte.
Leslye Headland, Emmy-nominated creator of the mind-bending series Russian Doll, is a boldly innovative filmmaker bringing her new Star Wars series to Disney+. The Acolyte is a mystery thriller that will take us into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era.
So obviously in that clip, Kathleen Kennedy describes The Acolyte as a mystery thriller that will take viewers into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers. And she also says that it will be in the final days of the High Republic era. And this is the announcement that got a lot of people very hyped for The Acolyte because we love dark side stuff and we don't see enough dark side content. We've really only had 2 movies in all of Star Wars that had a dark ending, maybe 3 if you count Rogue One, but if you think about it, all of the dark ending movies of Star Wars are the most liked. Most of the time, if you ask the older crowd what their favorite Star Wars movie is, they'll say Empire Strikes Back. And if you ask the younger crowd or people around my age, they usually say Revenge of the Sith. But anyway, the announcement at the Disney Investor event got a lot of people very hyped because the concept of this show is so cool. This show has so much potential and I really think it has the potential to take over the internet similar to what The Mandalorian did. But why would they lead with the show being female-centric instead of telling us this very cool concept that they have? Well, the reason is because Kathleen Kennedy is behind this one as well, and it's also set in the High Republic era. And all the other High Republic content that we've seen so far, and also all the employees that are behind the High Republic, are very woke. So the reason that the first thing they said about The Acolyte was it being female-centric is because that's what's going to be the main focus of this show. This show, just like all the other High Republic content, is going to be pushing that woke agenda that Kathleen Kennedy is constantly trying to push. So the main reason why I'm worried about The Acolyte has nothing to do with the story that they're going to be telling or the concept for the actual story. My main worry is that they're focusing so much on the show being female-centric and they're pushing that so hard that it's definitely going to take away from the story if they push it that much inside of the actual show. So when people were watching the Disney Investor event and they heard about The Acolyte and they heard the concept behind it, they got very excited, but they didn't quite put the pieces together yet that it was going to be the same show that they announced previously that was going to be female-centric and written by Leslye Headland. But I am still very excited for this show and I think the concept is very cool, and if the show does live up to its potential, I think it has the ability to take over the internet, similar to The Mandalorian as I said before. But I think people need to temper their expectations a little for the show because of the fact that they led with the show being female-centric, and you have to expect that they're going to be focusing on that quite a lot throughout the show. This show has the potential, but I think it's just going to be another High Republic woke agenda type show, and it's really sad because I think Leslye Headland is very talented and I think the show has so much potential because of the dark side concept. I just hope that the numbers for this show being really bad don't put Disney off of making more dark side content, because the numbers will struggle for this show if they do focus too much on the female centric side of things, because people just don't want to see that. But like I've said so many times before, most of us have no problem with there being a female lead, but the problem comes in when the main focus of the show is there being a female lead. If you're marketing the show mainly off there being a female centric theme, then that just rubs me the wrong way, especially when you have such a cool concept that you could be marketing the show with. So yeah, pretty much in this video I just wanted to tell you guys to temper your expectations for the Acolyte, because it probably will just be some more High Republic woke stuff. But if you did enjoy this video, consider leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel. If you want to find me on all my socials, all the links will be in the description, as well as the link to the Discord. But other than that, thanks for watching the video, and I hope to see you in the next one.